Rocket Prize Fighter! Killer Instinct was originally released into arcades in 1994 from a joint venture of both Nintendo and Rare. It had state-of-the-art graphics and stood out from the rest of the pack with its insane combo system. Eventually, it was ported over late into the SNES's lifespan in 1995, and Retro Matt and myself played a ton of it as kids. So how does the Game Boy version stack up to the other fighters on the handheld? Also released in 1995, the Game Boy port of Killer Instinct does a fine job replicating the combo-intensive experience of its bigger brother counterparts. However, unlike those other versions, changes had to be made to fit all they did into this tiny cart. From the get-go, this tournament fighter has a roster of 8 playable characters and 9 total with a cheat code. But sadly, both Riptor and Cinder were left on the cutting room floor. You can only fit so much in a Game Boy game, I guess, and perhaps Rare thought those two weren't as popular as the other characters? Control-wise, you have a button to punch and to kick. Again, things had to be changed up as the arcade and SNES versions used a 6-button configuration. The Game Boy only has 2. So tapping forward in either button will give you a quick attack. Pressing it standalone will execute a fierce attack. Each fighter has their own special moves by inputting commands, and from what I've seen, all the special moves are here. And of course, stringing all of these together will give you really cool looking combos. You have jump and auto doubles to net you an easy 3 to 4 hit basic combo, and tapping the correct button or special move will continue the chain as a linker. Adding another special move will usually send your opponent flying. This is called an ender. One more thing with combos. If your opponent's second health bar is flashing and you can finish a combo with a certain button press, you get an ultra cool ultra combo. These suckers are the true showstoppers and exceed the 20 hit mark. It's the game's main selling point, and it's a lot of fun to watch, and it feels even better to pull it off. And what would a fighting game be without some crazy story to set the table? Apparently it's not OCP that runs the good old USA, but a greedy megacorporation called Ultratech. Every year they host a no-holds-barred life or death event called the Killer Instinct Tournament. This event draws massive ratings and grants the winner anything they desire. Each fighter has his or her own reasons to enter, even Ultratech. Their newest robot model, Fulgore, is entered to test its capabilities. Thunder is trying to find his brother, TJ Combo is a disgraced former heavyweight champion looking for a payday, and so on and so forth. Needless to say, Ultratech is behind each scheme, interfering in everyone's lives and only caring about 2 things: money and ratings. One thing the Game Boy version is sorely lacking are all the voice effects. The SNES version is littered with it. Sadly, there's no grunts, screams, or announcing on the Game Boy version. What could you ask for, I guess? It's just a simple handheld game, for cripe's sake. However, the music is varied and sounds as close to the original source material as possible, just scaled back a bit. It's good, all things considered. Take a listen for yourself. So the graphics look pretty on point too. This is Rare we're talking about. They're no slouch in the graphics department. While many frames of animation are missing, the fighters look clear and detailed. I can tell Glacius apart from Orchid, or Combo from Thunder. Even the backgrounds are nice. I especially like Jago's Island and Saberwolf's Chamber. Great stuff. And if things aren't clear enough for you, you can go into the options menu and turn on light and dark modes to help out. Really cool addition too. Also, if you're playing this on your Super Game Boy, it is supported with its own custom border and color palette. On top of that, you can plug in a second controller for some head-to-head action. You don't normally see this on Super Game Boy games, so this is a welcome addition. Lastly, each character has a few extra moves at their disposal. I've already mentioned the Ultras, but in addition are combo breakers to, well, interrupt your opponent's combos, as well as the danger moves and humiliations. Danger moves are like the fatalities from Mortal Kombat, although not nearly as gruesome. This is Nintendo after all. You can also perform humiliations. If you're still on your first energy bar, you can choose to embarrass your opponent rather than killing them. Just look at those sweet moves. So what are my final thoughts then? Although I had an incredibly tough time doing certain characters' ultra combos, namely Saberwolf and Orchid, I had an absolute blast playing the game as I was capturing footage. Out of all the games I've reviewed on Pocket Prize Fighter, which by the way, check out my past episodes, Killer Instinct is one of the most fun I've had yet. Standing on its own merits and not looking at the arcade or SNES port, you have great graphics by Rare, really solid music, addictive combo gameplay, 8 fighters with a secret boss character, tons of moves, Super Game Boy enhancements, 2-player support via the Super Game Boy, as well as a great challenge when you crank up the difficulty. Aside from the Takara fighters, with one already covered, this is definitely a top 5 contender. Killer Instinct on the Game Boy is a winner, definitely pick this one up if you see it.